Ladies and gentlemen, what's up? Mark May in the house. Welcome to episode 51 of the Mayhem Show. If you haven't been watching, we have not been with you in 3 weeks. We are back and we are in full strength. We got Lewis Perry in the house tonight. I'm so excited to have my man back, co-hosting the show, the man with the most. I can't wait to bring him in. Guys, you know we got a show, a Kickstarter coming February 18th. It's going to be the Jengar and Shred 2 show. Make sure to check it out. It's going to be called Jurassic Massacre. Going to be really awesome. We got a comment from one of these little bot dudes. Check this out. Whenever you see this, it's like they think they can take the music or whatever, but I actually own the copyrights to the music. So sorry about that, little bot fucker. Here's the link to the Silent Mayhem production soundtrack. You can actually go there, you little fucking bot fucker. So there you go, guys. Make sure to check out Jengar and Shred 2. It's going to be an awesome, awesome Kickstarter. Guys, without any further ado, we're going to bring in the man with the most, Mr. Lewis Perry. We're going to be showing you a little preview of Jengar and Shred 2 here in just a second. But first, we're bringing on Lewis, ladies and gentlemen. Lewis in the house.
How are you? How you doing?
I am doing great. It's the first time I've not seen you in your Macho Man gear, in like the first time ever. What's going on?
I'm still under the weather. I've been battling a headache now for the past couple of days. I mean, I've been even on Faces and Heels and Angry Geeks, man. I've been like just under the weather, but I'm good. I'm rocking and rolling, dancing on the ceiling. I'm hanging in there, doing what I can. But yeah, no Macho Man stuff. I got the belt hanging in the corner, no green screen in the back because I didn't want the lights, you know.
Dude, you still got the wristbands though, just in case you gotta get sweaty tonight. Just in case you gotta toe to toe.
I always rock the wristbands, always. I mean,
fuck yeah, man.
No matter what, I got wristbands always. I always rock the wristbands, but nothing else, man. No headbands, no cowboy hats, no fringe, no nothing. You know.
So Lewis, you got to know that while you were gone, I was for sure still showing you on the show, and you know what I'm talking about.
Yep. Get that out of there, man.
Shows, man. I'm starting to look like a different one at the moment, even than what I was looking at like before. Man, I gotta tell you, dude. Like, we're gonna have to get me a different GI Joe here soon. If this thing keeps growing, I'm gonna look like Chewbacca. So
I'm gonna have to shave that. See, but I dye my hair this color. People pay top dollar to dye their hair this color.
I mean, that's a good point, brother. That's a good point. Hey, I got a new Kickstarter coming. It's coming February 18th.
The day before my birthday.
This is Jengar and Shred 2. It's my baby. I'm so proud of this one because this was the first one I did on my own with Jengar and Shred 1. And then Joseph Michael Lenzner helped me out, throwing me the cover and also giving the logo on this one. Guys, I'm going to show you all the different covers that we got coming right now. Lewis, check this out, brother.
Okay.
you have never been one to mince words or what you think about my Kickstarters, whether you like them or don't like them. What do you think of this one?
I'm digging it, man. I'm digging those different covers. I'm gonna do a cover for you. I'm gonna do one.
Dude, as
Man.
long as it's a cosplay cover and you're in full like naked caveman gear, that's all I need, man.
Dude, I'll do Macho Man on a dyno for you,
That would
and I'll
be
have
fucking
Jamie.
awesome.
Jamie, yeah, I'll do have Jamie with it too.
Actually, here's the thing,
Right.
dude, is if Jamie did want to do a cosplay cover, I'd probably let her.
Oh, I know you would. I know you would. She knows that too.
Hey,
But I'll do
Joseph Bruin in
a
the house saying, "What's up, Lewis?"
who's that?
Joseph Bruin.
Hey, what's going on, Joe? How you doing, brother? Yeah, Joe is a huge wrestling fan. What's going on, my friend?
As am I. Welcome to
Yeah,
the
Joe has a great show. It's going to be in Providence. It's a wrestling convention, and it's going to be tremendous. It's a WrestleFest, Fan Fest. It's going to be a great time. But Joe, I think it's in June, if I'm not mistaken.
wow.
Yeah.
Dude, I'd like to make it out there myself. Vegas is also in June. I can't wait for Amazing Vegas.
I think
Yes,
it's in
without
June.
any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I have to bring on
Mhm.
our guest of the evening, one of the biggest guests we've ever had on the Mayhem show, Mr. Aaron Bartling, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing,
What's up, guys?
How you doing, Aaron?
What's up? What's up? What's up? How you guys doing?
Another beautiful night
Hanging
in
in there.
paradise, Aaron. Can't complain too bad, man. We got to start with your first question, my man. We all know where this is going. What is your favorite convention? And not like convention, but what city is it in? And what food is your favorite food to get in that city? We always ask this. It doesn't matter.
What is this? No, you always ask this.
I
I mean,
always
that's
it's the first question
yeah.
for everything. It's the most important question of the night. This is what everybody wants to hear. What's your favorite food in what city when you go to a con, my man?
Okay, I'm trying to think because it's kind of a tough one to answer because I've only been to 2 cons. So
What?
yeah, yep.
You've
Only
been to only 2
only
conventions?
been to MegaCon and New York Comic Con. Those are the only ones.
Wow.
So yeah, so I don't have. I would say okay. I'm gonna go with MegaCon for the first one. That was a blast. And
what was the food, my man? What was the food
the
that you had?
food. Okay, so is it the food while I was there, like even outside of the con, or it has to be at the con?
No, not at the con. It's
Okay.
it's the city that you're in for the
Okay.
convention. Like, for example, Jack
Yeah.
Stack's Barbecue in Kansas City, man. Like, I love that shit. I can't get
Okay.
enough of it.
Okay, so one of the last days we were there, Jason with Capture Collectibles, he took the whole team and we all went to this chicken place. I'm trying to remember the name of it. It was all like barbecue chicken, and it was like rotisserie style, so you could see the chickens like turning, slowly and cooking, and it was, whew, man, it was delicious, man. It
Damn,
was
that
like
sounds fucking
super just white meat, moist. Oh man, it was bomb. I forgot the name of it, but if I go back to MegaCon this year, that's I'm gonna tell Jason we gotta go eat there. So,
oh yeah, dude,
yeah,
that sounds
yeah.
that sounds like some good stuff right there. Lewis.
Yeah. I'm looking for something right now. I got to give Joe a New England Fan Fest. That is what I was trying to think of. Like once I said once again, my head is kind of pounding, and it is July 29th, 2022 at the Crown Providence Plaza in Warwick, Rhode Island. If you're a wrestling fan, make sure you guys head out there. Joe is a great, fantastic guy. He is Angry Geeks approved. This convention is Angry Geeks approved. Go and check it out. Make sure you tell him that I sent you guys to go see him.
If he likes him, I like him. That's usually the way it is.
Yeah.
So if Lewis likes the person, I like him as well.
Yeah, Joe's a fantastic guy.
All right, next question, Lewis.
Yeah. What?
Next question, Lewis.
I am.
Question, Lewis.
Aaron, what do you got cooking? What's going on? What do you got pimping? Pimp your wares. What do you have? What are you working on?
What am I working on? Good question. Okay, so some stuff I can't talk about, some more stuff I can't talk about, and some more. No, I'm just kidding. No, I got. So I just dropped today actually in my group, Radiant Red #1. That just came out. Super stoked on that cover. It is an exclusive cover just for my fan group. So it was basically something me and the admins wanted to do as a like thank you for like for all the support and everything. And so the cover is literally just for people in the group. They get first access and first dibs to it once it goes live, and then whatever we don't sell, if we hopefully we sell out, but if we don't sell out, then maybe like 2 weeks after we'll release it to everybody. But yeah, super stoked on that.
Okay, explain a little bit about the group for the watchers and listeners that don't know about the group. Explain a little bit about what this group is.
Yeah, so so the Bartling Bunch is a Facebook fan page, and it's currently sitting at I think like a little over 600 members, and it's actually pretty crazy because just like barely a week ago there was only about 330, and so everyone's been sharing it around, in prep for this cover reveal. So that's been awesome, is to get a lot more people on the fan page. But yeah, so if you go to if you're on Facebook and you put in Bartling Bunch, it'll pop up, and then you can request to get into the group, and then we approve everybody, and then you'll have access to the new cover coming out, and and it's just a really like cool place to be. Everyone there is super positive. Everyone there is really encouraging. There's no toxicity. Like I don't have like I have like a set of rules to keep it clean and keep it family friendly and everything. So everyone on there is just awesome. Everyone's super supportive and just amazing. So anyway, so that's that. And then I have a lot of covers lined up that I'm working on that can't talk about yet, unfortunately. But I'm super excited for it. And then I'm doing a lot of private commissions right now too, because when I was out a couple of months ago from breaking my hip, I fell behind, man. Like I fell behind on so much work. I had like a stack of blanks that I was supposed to be working on, but I just fell behind with not working. So now I'm trying to play catch up and work on those, which has been fun actually, because I mostly work digital, but it's been really nice to get back into the traditional game and do some traditional work. So I've been painting and drawing and stuff. So it's been cool. So
what made you go from traditional to digital, or did you start off digital?
So I actually I started off traditional, but like I never really honed the skills in traditional. And it wasn't until I started working about 10 years ago in digital. I kind of did things backwards. If I could do it over again, I would have taken a lot of foundational classes in, mostly because working in comics, we're doing figure work. So I would have gone hard on the figure drawing, anatomy, all that kind of stuff, and gotten really proficient with, charcoal and pencil. And then that will easily translate into painting. And then I wish I would have gone from there into digital. So I kind of did things a little backwards. But I mean, for the most part, when you're painting digitally, it's the same principles. It's like you're trying to have your values be right. You're trying to control your color and all that stuff. So it's just a different medium, but I will say it's obviously working digitally is a lot easier because you have Command Z. So it's a lot easier to just click back, you're done, Photoshop's amazing. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's incredible. I mean, you can do changes on the fly, people request something different. I can change it immediately. But something wants something different on a commission. It's like, okay, let me start mixing the paint. Let me get the the hues all correct, and so it's a lot more tedious and involved. So I definitely like working digitally more than traditional, just for time's sake, But
Okay, what's your on digital? What's your color palette? What is it? Is it light colors, dark colors, more traditional? What does your palette look like?
I would say if you look at a lot of my covers, what I love using is warm and cool harmonies. I love
cool.
Contrasting harmonies are like my favorite thing. I feel like that's what's really captivating. Is having warms and cools. It just looks great. So
groovy.
Yeah.
What when you're not behind? When quiet. When you're not behind, and you sure you miss me? You sure you miss me? When you're not behind,
yeah.
When you're not behind, what is your lead time on your commissions?
When I'm not behind, I would say probably, if I'm working on a blank, I would say probably like maybe 4 to 5 days. I'm not the fastest. I know some of these guys bust stuff out like ridiculously fast in one day, but I'm not that fast. And, I'd rather, if you're paying good money for a commission, I'd rather take my time and make sure you're getting your money's worth and you're getting a really quality piece. And most of the people that do have me do commissions, they get it graded. So I want to make sure, obviously, that it's the best it can be, especially if it's getting slabbed, and then it's a nice keepsake, So.
All right, one more question, and I'll give you over to Mark. What was the weirdest commission that you ever had?
Weirdest commission I ever had. I would say a few years ago, I was commissioned by this company in San Diego. Don't even know what's going on with them, what even happened to them, or anything. It's kind of funny, but they commissioned me to do a set of cards, and it was a card game, kind of similar to like a Magic the Gathering or like a Dungeons and Dragons kind of a thing. But it was kind of that it was like fantasy and like magic and all this kind of stuff. And what were they called? It was something bastards or something. I forgot, something bastards. But anyways, so they wanted me to do. I did all these. I think I did like 18 different illustrations for them. And one of their illustration requests was they wanted a dragon to be swooping down, and there's a farmer in a field with what was it? A farmer in a field with sheep, and this farmer is I'll just leave it at this, but is getting frisky with one of the sheep, and is connected with the sheep, if that makes sense. And the dragon is grabbing the guy, and they're up in the air, and he's in the sheep, and he's like all like I kid you not, I was like, that is probably for sure hands down the weirdest request for any kind of illustration I've ever had to do. That was hands down the weirdest thing I think ever. So.
That's the best answer we ever got, Lewis.
To that question, absolutely.
Just classic, absolutely classic. But yeah, it's too funny.
So Aaron, let's talk about your start in the industry.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man, absolutely.
So tell us first what influenced you to get in the industry, and then tell us how you actually got your first piece, and then started moving into published covers.
Yeah, so I was working with bands, and actually, ironically, and I love the intro song because I'm a huge metal fan, love metalcore, all that stuff.
Thank you, man. We had that one made.
All that, man. I love it, man. It's great. So I started 10 years ago working with bands. That was kind of my when I started taking art really seriously. And so I was doing logos, I was doing album art, T-shirts, all that. And then I'm going to skip a ton of detail, but fast forward. Basically, what happened was I was getting to a point where working with bands just I wasn't enjoying it, a lot anymore, and I just wasn't making a lot of money. It wasn't super lucrative, and I was having to work like multiple jobs to survive. And I was just like, this is not feasible for the long run, like, and around that same time, I had just gotten married. So, I'm trying to think about my wife, like, I don't want her to have to work a lot. I would love to be able to just be the sole provider, and but that just wasn't the case. She had to work and I had to work multiple jobs so we could survive. And it was rough, man, for a lot of years. It was rough financially. And so I started, kind of researching and trying to think of like different fields that I could go into. I knew I still wanted to do illustration. I didn't want to stop doing that. But I started I started joining some comic groups on Facebook, and I had some buddies that were into comics that were doing cover work and that kind of thing. And a lot of the artists that I followed on social media, they were doing covers and they were in the comic industry. And so I was like, man, this seems pretty cool, seems intriguing. And so I talked to a variety of different people about like, what route they think I should take and how to get in and stuff. And so, I'm trying to think to cover every detail. I feel like there's a lot happened to kind of get to where I'm at. But basically, yeah, it was just a culmination of like a lot of networking, a lot of putting myself out there, and just not being afraid to talk to people, which is, I know, like a fear of a lot of artists. They're afraid to really put themselves out there and be vulnerable and be open to rejection. And it's scary, because everyone's afraid of that, and fear is a driving force. And so I kind of had to get over that and just just put my work out there and hope that someone would bite. And so I started, before I even did any cover work or anything, I was doing a lot of like comic based illustrations. I was just doing like random stuff. I do like Wolverine and Mystique and Elektra and Daredevil and all these like random pieces, just kind of like personal pieces for fun. And then I was posting them on different, like the comic group and stuff like that. I was posting them on different pages. And
what
I started
year was this when you were doing it, Aaron?
This was 2019 when I started doing this. So so I just started posting, and I wasn't sure what would happen. I wasn't sure where things would go. But I was just, I was trying to be consistent. So I would post like at least a couple times a week or just, once a week or whatever, because I was working my other jobs too. So it's kind of hard to still maintain, good quality artwork and keep it up. But I was posting and I noticed, I was starting to get not a following, but, people were like, oh, Aaron, like, I love this piece, and, people kind of started to recognize my name with, what I was posting and stuff. And then I was like, okay, cool, man. It seems like I'm gaining some traction. It seems like people are liking, what I'm posting. And so then I started reaching out to different retailers. So I was reaching out to, Unknown Comics. I was reaching out to Scorpion, to Trinity, to Comic Mint, and like some of these like bigger name, retailers. I didn't want to go for like the smaller guys, and like no offense to them, I was just trying to see if I could get my foot in the door with like a bigger retailer. And so so sure enough, Unknown Comics actually they got back to me, and I'm trying to remember what I sent them. I think it was really simple too. Like it was like I just sent a short bio to all these people, a little bit about myself, nothing crazy, like a tiny paragraph, and then maybe like 5 pieces. It wasn't anything crazy, like 5 of my better illustrations. And Unknown, Darren and his brother got back to me, and they were like, oh, would you be interested in doing a cover? And there was a little bit of a lapse of time that went by. And if I remember correctly, we weren't talking for a little bit. And then, I would check in periodically, like, hey, are you guys still interested in working with me? I'd love to work with you guys and do a cover or whatever. And so eventually there's an opportunity that presented itself. And they said, hey, would you want to do a Deja Thoris cover for Dynamite? And so I was like, yeah, of course. I was ready to do anything. I was like, that would be awesome. So I said, yeah, let's do it. And they put in the request with Dynamite. I got approved, and then then I started working on the piece, and did some like few sketches and sent it over, and to get approval. And the one that obviously ended up being the cover was the one they liked, and so that was kind of the beginning of how I got in. And then and I continued to reach out to different retailers, and so the other big one was the Comic Mint, with Steven, and then he really liked my work.
Really big fans of Steven Finkel, ladies and gentlemen. I love that guy.
Yeah,
he made the deal with me for Hellbringers for Dawn of the Devil. Love that guy.
No, Steven's amazing. I would say the Comic Mint is probably one of the shops that I've worked with the most out of any other retailer. And Steven's been so good to me. Like, he's been amazing. And truth be told, when we first started working together, he was like, honestly, man, he's like, I see so much potential in you, and I see, like that you could be the next big time artist. And he's like, I want to vest in you, and I want to basically be like your unofficial agent. And he was like, what I did with Shannon Mayer was basically, he took Shannon Mayer to the top and got him, Marvel approved and everything. And he was like, I want to do the same thing with you. I want to take you down the same road, build your name up, keep working on titles to get you exposure. And eventually, I want to get you doing, DC titles and Marvel titles, and, and get you Marvel approved, which is the goal. Well, that's like the big time. So anyway, so we had a lot of phone conversations. We talked all the time, and Steve became more than just someone I worked with. He became a friend. When we talked, we could have small talk. We could ask like, "Oh, how have you been? What's new?" And like, it wasn't just all business. Which is nice. It's nice to work with people where it's not all just it's not all just business at the end of the day. So it's nice to have a relationship with the people that you're working with, and building those that trust and those ties with them. So Steve's been awesome. I felt so when I worked with Steve, The Killing of Red Sonja was the first another Dynamite title, but that was the first one I did with Steve. It was a pretty big hit. A lot of people really liked it, even though it was literally like a nobody still at the time. Like, no one even knew who I was. But that was all part of the plan, was kind of like to build me up, keep getting me exposure, keep trying to do like indie titles, let's do some Image stuff. Let's do some Boom titles. Let's do some IDW, whatever. And so, that's kind of, that's as condensed as I can think to make it. I feel like a lot of, other things happened along the road, but that's kind of what brought me to. And then, shortly after that was when I did The Last Ronin. And then that's when I feel like, my career changed forever from that point on, was because of the success of that. And that's what really got my name out there and got me, just the crazy exposure that I got. And then, it was like, I feel like ever since, literally, like, once I did The Last Ronin, I have not looked for any work since. It's been 2 years now, and it's been just steady work from that point on. And it's amazing. I feel so grateful. I'm just like humbled, by just the love that so many people show me, and like how loyal my fan base is. Like, it's ridiculous. And I'm just super, super thankful. So.
Did you think The Last Ronin would be magic in a bottle, the hit that it was? Did anyone think that book was going to be that big of a hit?
To be honest, I thought it would be a cool series, for sure. I thought people, the TMNT fans would for sure like it. They would enjoy it. But no, to be honest, I never in a million years expected it to blow up, not just with my cover, but just in the sense of like the series itself. I mean, look at how many variants for each issue have come out. Like, look at the success that it's had. Like, I mean, I would not doubt it at all if they do some type of animated film with it one day, or live action, or who knows what, because it's just so successful and so many people love it. But yeah, no, I never, when I was making it, to be honest, man, like I just thought like, hey, I get to work on Ninja Turtles. This is dope, like this is sick, like what new illustrator the industry is going to say no to working on TMNT? You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
I was right out of the gate, to already have that opportunity. Hey, you want to work on this new series called The Last Runner? Sure. What's it about? And like, I didn't really know anything. I only knew basically what the public knew, like what was released online with the ash cans. That was literally essentially all I knew about it. So I didn't know, I didn't know it was going to be Mikey. I didn't know any of that stuff, so it was very, just kind of like going with it, trying to trust my heart and my gut with it, and, obviously do my best I could. And, but yeah, I never thought it would have turned out the way that it did. So it's crazy.
So 3 years into the industry, and this is what you've turned out so far. That's absolutely insane.
Yeah. Thank you, man. Yeah. Man, I feel so blessed, honestly, because, I feel fortunate, because I think, I don't know if it was just right place, right time, or I got lucky, or whatever word you want to use for it. But I know a lot of people that have tried for a lot of years, and to, to get in with, not only different retailers, but, to be approved by different publishers, like they don't get approved by Image or Boom or whatever. And my heart goes out to them, because obviously I want everyone to succeed. I want everyone to everyone that's chasing after their goals and their dreams to be able to fulfill those. I hope that for everyone. So I feel really fortunate that it happened so quick for me. Like, a lot of people are like, don't get me wrong, I worked really, really hard to get where I'm at, for sure. There's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears and years of grinding to get my skills to where they're at. But I do feel like my progress in the comic industry happened really, really freaking fast. Like it wasn't like oh yeah, Aaron's been grinding in the comic industry for like 5 or 6 years or 8 years, and he's finally, it was like I was barely a year in, and I was already like really, getting some significant notoriety, which is pretty crazy. So yeah, I'm super, super grateful.
Trust me, man. I've been doing the 5 to 8 year grind right now, and I'm just starting to get noticed. I just got that Vampirella cover, so I know how that goes, man. Congratulations, my dude.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much. Yeah. So, yeah,
Lewis.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here, just nursing this headache, Mark, and I don't want to steal your thunder anymore. So
don't make me destroy you.
You just keep going.
Yes, sir. So Lewis got some great questions earlier. Usually we just go back and forth.
Yeah.
One question.
Yeah.
Jeremy Strychar says what he's saying is he's sort of a big deal. Yes, he is.
Oh, Jeremy. Nah. I'm just a dude that has some amazing fans, and I like to do art. That's it, man.
You failed, Your Highness.
Oh man, those plugins are classic. So classic.
Classic. So, Aaron, what is your dream project? What is a character that you want to work on? I mean, you already worked on the Turtles. What is something that you have your sights set on in the future? Can you say, is it coming up, or what is that one character? What is that one property that you do want to work on?
Yeah, so the two big goals for me this year are for sure doing as many cons as I can, and the other big goal is hopefully getting Marvel approved. Man, that's the goal, is to get in with Marvel. I've been approved by everyone else, been approved with DC, just waiting on Marvel. And if I do get in with them, two characters I would say hands down, if I got to work on, would be either Spider-Man or Daredevil, for sure.
Oh,
those would be absolute dream projects.
Great choices.
I would throw a party if I got to work on Spider-Man or Daredevil. So yeah, that
Man, I
would
used
be.
to have issues 1 through 8 on Daredevil, man, and I had to sell number
Oh,
1 to
man.
Rhode Island Comic Con, believe it or not, Lewis, for the first time ever. I got it signed about Stan Lee. Came back as a 3.0. I could have 20 grand right now, but no, I went to Rhode Island Comic Con for the first time ever. And I sold it for $2,000 like an idiot back in the day.
Wow.
But here's the deal: is I had to do it that way. I could get out there, man, because you never know where your career is going to take you, and you got to take every opportunity you can get, even if it means getting rid of the best stuff you got. And that's kind of what I do. Is I give it all up. Try to hire the best artists as well for Hellbringers. So hopefully one day I'd love to have you on, because that would be sweet.
That would be
the
dope.
Next question I got for you, my man, is you kind of told us where you wanted to be and what you want to do for your future projects. You know, when it comes to original art, you said that you're starting to do a little bit more of the traditional style as well. That way you can match it with your digital. I think that's smart for you to do, because that way you can sell your original art. You know what I mean? It's tough just to sell a digital copy of it. It's not the same thing. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So no, that's
it's good to hear you say that. I was getting a little worried there for a second, man.
That's funny.
Let's talk about your remarks.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Are so original with these paint pens that you're using. Tell us a little bit about your process for these guys.
Yeah, so it's funny, man, because the whole remark thing definitely has been a journey. It's funny because if you ask my wife, we have so many funny stories about it. Because I don't know if you can find them, and there's probably people out there for sure that have them. Jeremy, if you're still watching, you probably do. But the first remarks that I did with the Comic Mint on the Killing of Red Sun, they were horrible. They were god awful. They were just like, I didn't really know what I was doing. I was super scared going into it. I was using, I didn't even have those paint pens yet. I just had like Sharpies. And so I was using just like black, and they didn't look good. They were just very simple. I remember Steven was paying me, they weren't even considered a remark. They were called, he was calling them like a mini or a semi remark. And I was getting paid like $15 a remark. It wasn't anything crazy. Now I'm charging like 75 to 100, so but basically what I did was I got these paint pens. So they're Sharpie oil-based paint pens. And so I got a good amount of these, and I don't know if someone told me about them or I just picked them up. I think someone did tell me about them, and they were like, oh, you should try them out. And so what I did was I just started kind of like practicing on paper, how they work, so I didn't, ruin somebody's cover, and then, and then I basically, like, it's funny, it's just jumping in and having that confidence, it was like, I knew if I didn't branch out and just start working with these pens and experimenting with them, then I wouldn't keep progress in the traditional realm, and I wouldn't be able to have like these cool remarks. So basically I just jumped all in, and I just threw fear to the side, and I was like, okay, just go for it. When you start working on these, have confidence, and go into it knowing like how to do it, and like, so I did. And it's crazy because when you go, it is a little scary because when you're using these pens, like once you start laying paint down, like that's it, like you don't get a second chance. I can't wipe it off the cover, so it's like once I started getting that confidence and that mojo up, that's where like things started that's when I started like gaining a lot of traction with doing the crazier and crazier remarks, because I was like, I got really confident with these pens, and I knew what I could do with them. I knew how I could manipulate them. I knew how I could layer colors, how I could mix them, how to almost like I was like painting with a brush, but with these paint pens. And so, yeah, over the past couple of years, I've just tried to get better and better with them, and keep trying to push myself, to keep the quality up and do like unique, cool, different remarks. And really, in a way, it's kind of crazy because, like, I mean, I've heard people say, you know, just like funny stuff like, oh, Aaron's the remark king and stuff like that, like in the industry, and like, oh, no one can touch like Bartling's remarks and all this kind of stuff. And like, I mean, that's cool, you know, that's awesome that people think that. I guess, you know, because people really, really do admire them, and, you know, people pay good money for them. I've kind of used it in a way to like brand myself, you know, like as like that guy that does the crazy remarks, you know, even though, to be honest, like sometimes I think I put a little bit too much time into them, you know, like I spend more time on them than what the asking price is, you know, but I want, and that doesn't matter to me though, you know, because I want people to have really high quality, cool remarks that they can show off, something that you know they can be proud of, and something that is like, you know, represents the cover that I'm doing it on, you know, because obviously I'm proud of the cover, so I want the remark to be equally, you know, equally strong, you know. So yeah, so I hope that it kind of sums up, you know, the question. But yeah, it's been a blast to work on these, and, you know, I keep trying to up the ante a little bit on each one I do, and try to figure out new and different ways to, you know, try different things with them. But yeah, they're a blast. I love doing them, you know, and remarks I think will always be something I do while I'm in the industry. So
will you be painting a painting anytime soon? Like an actual painting for a cover, like on canvas board, do you think?
that would be sweet, man. I think that would be awesome. It's funny that you say that, because I was just talking to my buddy. I'm not going to say his name, but he is working with DC right now.
You can mention my name.
Yeah, he's working with DC right now, and he was telling me, he was like, dude, he's like, just like Mike or Mark, just like what you were saying. He said, if you can start doing some of your covers traditionally, he was like, guys like you and I, like when we're older and we're like getting ready to retire, he was like, dude, those are going to be our money makers. You know, he's like, I would love to have a huge plethora of originals that when I'm old and I'm not really able to work anymore and I'm getting ready to retire, like, you know, hopefully if they're successful covers, you know, you could sell those for who knows how much, you know, and they're originals. And that, like, that's just, he's like, bro, I literally view it as like, that's like literally my retirement money, you know, like you're setting aside your retirement money. And I'm like, man, like that is so true. Like if you can be good enough to do everything traditional, and then, you know, and then just set it to the side. And I mean, maybe sell a few here and there, you know, maybe if you're trying to, you know, maybe if you're a little low on cash for the month, and you're like, oh, I want to buy a new plasma screen, so I you know, I need a couple grand or whatever, like, sure. But, you know, if you can try to set as many as you can aside, then that's just like, that's a great plan, you know. But yeah,
Absolutely.
Portfolio reviews. Somebody brings you a portfolio, they want you to review it. How do you go about it if they're awful?
I just tell them straight up it's trash. Like I'm just kidding.
Seriously?
I'm just
Okay.
I'm just kidding. No, that's
All right,
so mean. I'm joking. Maurice, what's up, homie? You better be there Friday, homie. See you for good boy. No, absolutely not. I think there's a fine, if someone, look, I don't feel like I'm one to like be super qualified to be able to give portfolio reviews, because I myself feel like I still have so much to learn, and that, you know, that's just being honest. But if someone did, you know, and they genuinely wanted to ask like what I think and stuff, I think there's a way to go about it, you know, without crushing someone. You know, like you can tell someone like, okay, you need to go back to the foundations. You know, you need to work on, okay, you know, say let's say it's a portrait, and the structure of the head is just all over the place. You know, I would say, you know, in a nice, respectful way, I would say, I think you need to go back to the fundamentals. You need to learn the structure of the head. You know, you need to learn the planes of the face. You know, how the forms of the face, and you know, and go back to that. You know, and like, you don't have to be a jerk about it and tell them like, oh, like this sucks, like this is awful. You know, obviously, like I said, I want everyone that's into art, you know, to be successful and to, you know, reach their goals. And you know, like if anyone is a jerk about portfolio reviews, then like, you know, they need to just screw off, honestly, because because it's like everyone starts somewhere. No one has professional work right off the bat. I mean, if you can see in the background right here, I have this figure, and I'm actually taking a class right now. I'm doing I'm at Watts Atelier, which is one of the most prestigious figure drawing schools in the country, and you know, and it's humbling me a lot because there's so much I don't know, and you know, I'm learning so much about the figure, and I know there's things I need to work on to get better with my anatomy and with my figure work.
Next.
And so, you know, so no one starts out amazing right off the bat. And, you know, if I go back and look at my work from 5 years ago, like I cringe, you know, it's just like, it's embarrassing, but you know, it's just part of the journey, you know, like it's just part of, you know, you're going to keep leveling up hopefully every year and keep trying to get better. And I would say too, that the person on the receiving end of critique, they need to be, if they really truly want to get better and they truly want to grow, you got to set your pride aside and your ego aside, you know, and that's a big thing because especially men, because we have our egos and we have our pride, and it's hard for us to set that aside and be like, look, I need to work on this because I suck at it, just straight up, you know, like I'm really bad at this. And if I don't work on it, I'm never going to get better. So as much as I argue with this instructor or this teacher and try to act like my work is great and, you know, and how dare he critique it or whatever, even if he's a little bit rude about it, you know, sometimes it takes tough love, you know, but that's what I would say.
The review was with Neil Adams. That was all tough love. I went back 2 more times because he was so great. I'm just saying, guys, there's a flip side of that. Sometimes it lights a fire under your ass like it did me. So
and sometimes, like sometimes it takes someone, sometimes if someone's a little snarky and they're a little mean about it, like for me, I'm a very competitive person, you know, and that lights a fire under my ass, you know, like if an instructor is like, dude, like you got to work on this, bro, you got to work on this, you got to work on this, like this is looking bad, whatever, instead of being like and like getting down in the dumps about it, I'm like, man, that's like all I want to work on now. Like I want to spend like 10 hours a day just grinding on that to get good. So when I go back to him and show him, he's like, damn, dude, like you leveled up, you know, like good job, you know, like, and so it meant
something that third time to hear him say, I don't have to teach you anything else. That was like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do you use for reference, Aaron?
Reference, like for my illustrations?
Yeah. Do you go to the internet? Do you use an action figure? Do you old school? Do you use a model? What do you use for a reference?
Yeah. So usually I'll go. There's you know, there's so many resources out there now with you know, models and figures that you can find online. I usually go on it's called ArtStation, and they have reference model packs that you can buy, and they'll have different poses. They'll have like different models with different light setups, you know, different lighting setups. Like it's pretty awesome. But to be honest, if it's a male, it's called if you go to ArtStation and then look up Graphit Studios. It's GRAFIT and then Studios, Graphit Studios, and they have a huge list of models, and they have, I mean, it's amazing. It's literally, I would say hands down, they have the best resource material for modeling. Like they have like, if you want, you know, someone in Viking clothing, if you want a barbarian, if you want a sorcerer, whatever, they have all these costumes and they're all in different poses, and they have nude figures too. If you're trying to work on your figure work and you want to work on, you know, nude figures, they have those. But to be honest, usually if it's a male, I just use myself. You know, I'll have my wife just take a picture of me. The last Ronin, number 1, or actually all the Ronins, it's been me. I just model myself in the pose, and then So,
guys, you heard it here first. Here's the thing: is that is some fucking incredible news that will help out a ton of artists out there who are listening to the show right now. We usually don't get an answer like that. It's usually just wherever I can find it. That was a great fucking answer, Aaron.
Yeah, Graphic's awesome. Yeah, I highly recommend it. I buy their reference packs all the time, and they have great stuff. So
cool. Thank you for your time.
Yeah,
Aaron, here's the deal: is Lewis? You know what time it is, guys?
Yeah, I gotta come up with something.
Tell you, it's Lewis's first promo for the new year. Okay, let's take it easy on him because my God, while he's thinking of the promo, we're gonna watch the Jingar video real quick.
Oh, jeez,
quick while he's thinking. Hold on 1 second. We'll be right back, my man. Right back. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is. We just got done with the Jingar and Shred #2 Jurassic Massacre hype video. Let's go ahead and throw it over to my main man over here. Our first promo of the year. I am so excited to see this. Lewis in the house. See it, my man.
For the past few days, my head has been pounding. I wish I was dead. It's getting late, so I'm off to bed. For those of you that are not in the know, I'm Lewis Perry, and you can find me on the Angry Geek Show. There you go. That's it.
And the Mayhem Show.
And the Mayhem Show. See, I told you my head is pounding.
And on Tuesdays with Jack Purcell.
Faces and Heels on Jack Purcell when we talk wrestling all the time. Aaron, it was a pleasure to meet you. I sent you a friend request.
Awesome. Man.
I am out. See you guys later.
See you later.
Have a great night, sir. Great meeting you, man.
Aaron, it has been fantastic to have you on the show tonight, my man. I can't believe what your career has done in the short time that you've been doing it. It is fantastic to see you just taking off straight to the top, my dude. Again,
man.
even if
Thank you so
you
much.
are right now the king of the remarks that you said earlier, I got to tell you, my man, I love watching you do them because it inspires artists like me to, get out there and maybe pick up some paint pens myself and try it
Awesome,
out.
man. Awesome.
But I do want to see you get on there and do some oil paintings, man, on some canvases because I know you would fucking kill it. So, I can't wait to continue to see what your art career does.
I got I don't have a canvas, but I'm finishing up this piece. I'll show you. This is it's not totally done yet, but it's close. But this is a Morbius commission I'm almost done with.
Holy crap, man. Are you kidding me? What? Guys, are you guys seeing this live on air right now? Holy
so this was
crap.
all painted.
Wow, my
there we
man.
go. Yeah, so
wow. Yeah, that looks fantastic.
Thanks, man.
What medium you using paint wise for that?
This was all done in gouache. Acrylic gouache. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that is amazing. Guys, we saw
man.
it here first on the Mayhem show with Mark May and Lewis Perry. Aaron, you've been a fantastic guest tonight. Is there anywhere that you want to go convention wise in the world? Where would you like to go? If there was a dream place in the world you could do a convention, where would it be? We're going to end on that question tonight, my man.
I would say dream place. It probably would be the logistics of this happening would be a nightmare. But if it was possible, I would say Bora Bora and at the Maldives, where you have the con right near the beach, and then as soon as the con's done, you just walk like maybe 100 feet, and you walk right onto those planks that overlook the crystal clear water. You go right into your bungalow, and you pick up your feet, watch the sunset go down. With a margarita in hand and in the crystal clear water with stingrays underneath you. And
yes, dude.
I would say that would be a dream, man, for sure. That'd be a dream.
I'm just saying, if you ever make it to that con, I'm your number 2 on that one. So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Aaron Bartling. Tell them where they can find you, my man.
Yeah, so the main socials I'm on, Facebook, obviously. You can just look up my name, Aaron Bartling, and then join my group if you can. Send an invite. So it's Bartling Bunch, and be happy to have you on the group. Always looking to get new members. But yeah, you can find me on Facebook, and then Instagram is Instagram.com/Aaron Bartling Art. And then I'm also on Whatnot now. So and I'm going to be really invested and involved in that. So be sure to follow me on there. And the handle for that is Bart Barian. So BART, like my last name, and then ARIAN, like Barbarian. So Bart Barian. And then that's basically it. Those are the only socials that I'm really on. So.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you go. That was Aaron Bartling, one of the best guests we've ever had on the Mayhem show. Ladies and gentlemen, he has been awesome. Really awesome to hear about his journey so far from the past 3 years. Ladies and gentlemen, fucking crazy. Aaron, stick around for just a little bit as we get off the show here. Guys, there's only one more thing left to do. We're going to show you the Hellbringers 2022 hype video, and we're going to get off here. So, Aaron, hey, awesome. Matthew Wilder says, what's going on?
Matthew, what's up?
right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the show for tonight. That has been Mr. Aaron Bartling, ladies and gentlemen, one of the best guests we've ever had. Stuck around for the entire video, didn't even have to. You guys have been amazing. Thanks for being with us for the past half of a year. We've got 51 episodes in already. And it's just crazy to think about all the people that we've had so far. So we're going to go ahead and end the show tonight, guys. I hope you guys have a great week. Go out there and do something good for somebody.